here is your Twitter follow-up video. I want to talk about your Twitter header, your Twitter profile picture, your bio section. The way to edit those is to click Edit Profile, and there you can change your header photo. Here you can change your profile photo, and here you have the ability to change your name and your bio and your location and your website. If you don't have a website, I would suggest putting in your LinkedIn profile just as at the moment. For your sponsors, you'll put in their company name. And then you can pick a theme color that matches the colors of their logo, or you can pick your own favorite logo on your own Twitter page. Okay, so the header can be used either to have a generic photo that's up year-round, or you can change it with the seasons, spring, summer, winter, and fall, or fall and winter, or you can change it with various campaigns. I wouldn't recommend changing it every day. That's what tweeting is all about. But if you had a campaign running for a month, you could use this area as real estate for that campaign. I want to talk about how to increase engagement organically. If you're paying, it's a lot easier to increase engagement, and by engagement I mean the retweets and the likes. If you're not paying, it's a little bit harder. Let me show you my previous work where we did not pay for any kind of promotion, but where we did have a pretty good engagement rating. Here you'll see Founders for Schools has an image that tells you pretty quickly what they do. These are entrepreneurs that go into schools and talk to students. And here you've got the Founders for Schools Twitter logo, which is a shorter version of their long logo, which actually says Founders for Schools. But we went with F for S because it was easier to see, especially when it gets smaller. What you'll see as well is that they have created targeted tweets. This was something that I implemented when I was running their digital marketing, where once they've done an event, they say thank you to the people who spoke at the event. They include the school that was spoken at, and then they include a link to the event. So this does a lot of things. It allows for other people to know that you're talking about them, and they will tend to favorite it or retweet it. It also allows you to get the link to your website out to your audience as well as the audiences of the people who retweet your tweet. So this is a really good example of a tweet that will probably generate traffic on the website and also engagement from the people included in it. So if we scroll down, you'll see there's a tweet here that's been retweeted 4 times, and it's been liked 3 times. And you can actually see here they've included an image as well. Or it's an audio boom. I guess it's audio from an event. But if you want to include a picture in a tweet, you can do that as well. I don't think we talked about that, so I'll just mention it now. Let's say I wanted to talk about how well the Tech Pixies class was going from a previous time. So I could go into the pictures, and I could find the pictures of people. Let's say this is the Tech Pixies, and I could add it, and I could then say the lovely Tech Pixies, and then I could tweet that, and that would show up just like this does with an image and some text. And you'll see here, this person here has included the title of her post, the link to her post, and then she said, "Bye, Scott Cody." Now, if I were her, I would include his Twitter handle. He might not have one, which is probably why she didn't include it. But here's one where this person has given the title of the post and then said who it's by and then included the link. So that's really how that works really nicely. Okay, so let's talk about growing your following or growing your clients' following, and let's also talk about the lists. So in general, you will grow your following by following other people. So your following or your sponsor's following are called followers, and the people you're following are basically listed as following here, if that makes sense. I know that's a bit confusing, but this is who you're following, and this is who's following you, and this is who you're following. And say that 50 times fast. The ratio you want is generally more people following you than you're following, because then that makes you look more important. So I spent a lot of time on my last job making sure that that ratio had a higher number of followers than following. We'll talk about it when we do our in-depth social media course, but there are ways to reduce your following and increase your followers. Basically, it's kind of cleaning up your lists. So I just haven't done it with mine, which is why I'm following twice as many people as are following me back. When you do want to follow people, you want to kind of do a search. You can either search for something like Oxford Charity, which is where I'll find charities that are in Oxford that I might not know about. So the Archway Foundation is possibly an Oxford charity that I don't know about, and it does look like it is. So I can follow them here, and then I can add them to my list of social enterprises and charities, just like that. So that's one way of growing your list. Another way of growing your list is actually looking at the followers that they have, and you may start to see patterns in their followers that are similar, and then you can follow people on their list. So Summertown Scene, for example, if I wanted to follow them, I could. There's a foundation, but it's based in Devon. There you go, an independent charity to support people affected by brain injury. So obviously I do charity. A lot of my clients are charities, so I will follow them, and then I'll add them to a list that says Oxford Shinton Charities. So it's just another way of following people. You can look at similar lists. You also can look at who they're following. So they're likely to be following other charities in Oxford, and they might just be following people back. You never know. But again, it's a way of looking at similar type things. Here's Recycle for Oxford. That's probably a county council thing, so I'm not going to follow that. But there might be other things that we'll see that I could follow if I wanted to, that fit what Made with Joy cares about in terms of clients. So that's that. A good list to always have is a retweeters list. So it's a list of people who retweet what you tweet. And you can just grow that over time. So when someone retweets something, you can just add them to your retweeters list. You can make it a private list so that other people can't, so that people don't know that they're on it. So that's how you make it private. And then if you want a public list, you just hit public, and that's other people will be able to see that. So for example, the Tech Pixies list, I would leave as public because I want people to follow you guys and engage with you. All right. So I think that pretty much covers everything in terms of Twitter for now, and we'll go into more detail later. But I'll leave it at that.